Okay. And this is the first break I've had in 6 months. We've had clients fasting with us at Tanglewood almost 6 months straight now. And unfortunately, I mean, 2 to 4 people. We had a while there where we had about 10, but for most of it, it's been 2, 3, 4 people at a time. So haven't had any free time, haven't had any time off. Fortunately, my staff all gets days off. No one works more than 6 days a week, and those who work 6 days a week, it's because they choose to. Nobody is a single day. And so it's been 7 days a week, usually 5 a.m. until 10 p.m. or so every day. Well, I've got a little break now. Here, I'm on the beach. Here, I'll give you a quick, you won't be able to see much probably because it's bright out there. There's a pool and then the ocean beyond. And it's pretty nice. It's been gorgeous. We had, some of you had heard from people who were worried about us here. There was a hurricane that hit Nicaragua and Guatemala and Honduras. We rarely get the little bit of a tropical storm. So we definitely get rain and wind, but never, almost never hurricane conditions. So I hope okay, hey there. I see a couple of you have made requests to be in the video with me. I'm focused here on YouTube. If you're interested in doing something live with me, we can perhaps, if that's going to make sense. But okay, so I hope everyone is well. I've got some questions here. In fact, I have a couple super chats here. Natasha, £2, says, Loren, hello, Loren, any good news about your little cat? No, unfortunately, Princess hasn't been seen now. I believe it's 2 weeks tomorrow that we haven't seen her. And so we've kind of lost hope that we're going to see her again. And we still held out hope there for a while. And I mean, it's still, I hope, of course, that she'll return, that maybe she was injured or something. I don't think she would have gotten around. We have 15 hectares, so they've got plenty of land. They're used to finding their way around. I don't think that's what's going on, but I don't know. I'm afraid she was probably became a meal for some other species. Oh, I see I've missed some super chats, so I'm scrolling back up here. Jari has made a 5. Your take on 9-year-old diabetes type 1, lower back pain, hiatal hernia, good sitting posture. When have you broken a fast early? Excess vomiting. 9-year-old type 1 diabetes isn't a problem. We work with people sometimes who have type 1 diabetes much longer than that. That is not a problem. To this, I have turned down clients in the distant past who had been diabetic, type 1 diabetic. Most people probably realize type 1 diabetic are people who take insulin because their body is incapable of producing the insulin that it needs. And so they're required to take it to be okay. And my view was those people are never going to, if it's been 25 years, for instance, the likelihood of their body producing enough insulin. I'm going to try switching sides here. So there's a lot of light that way. So it's probably going to get a bit better picture if I can come over. I have now worked with people who've been 20 years type 1 diabetes, and they're fine. I just actually did a consultation. We just got off 15 minutes ago with a woman who is a type 1 diabetic. A type 1 diabetic has to be constantly monitoring their blood sugar because blood sugar tends to be a little bit more unstable in a diabetic. And of course, because their body can't produce enough insulin. Now, those of you who are wondering about this because you've heard me say that you can't fast with medication, that's true. And insulin is hard. So I apologize. I hear there's some noise out front now. Sounds like someone's cutting the grass out there. But insulin's a hormone. And so if your body can't produce the hormones it needs, it's okay to a young man who had a specific issue and no longer has testicles and therefore cannot produce testosterone. So he needs to take that every day, and that's perfectly fine. There's no issue with that. That is not a problem. Um, this is quite different than taking medications. You can't take medication, but with insulin, it's no problem. Um, Lower back pain, no problem. We see amazing results with hiatal hernia. Hiatal hernias seem to be caused primarily by the choices people are making, including what people are eating. And so when someone completes the process, so far we've had, I think, 100% success in limb hernia. That is to say, people finish their fast, called the hiatus, and when the stomach actually can pass through that, so your stomach is up in your throat, and that's pretty comfortable. And when that happens, people have belching and indigestion and all kinds of issues. So those people with hiatal hernias are very uncomfortable most of the time whenever they're eating. Hello, Instagram. Glad to see you all here. People are experiencing discomfort all the time with a hiatal hernia. That's resolved as a result of fasting. However, like a lot of other conditions, if one goes back to making poor choices, they're very likely to recreate the same condition. As long as they keep making optimal choices, it should never be an issue again. And this has been our experience so far. So someone completes the process and eats optimally. This is again, it may well, but it will be for those folks. When have we broke fast early? Yeah, I mean, it happens. Okay, any doctor would say what's actually happening. She got a bit uncomfortable on the third day of it being so low, and so we agreed to break her fast. Sometimes with ongoing vomiting, we'll break her fast early because that's going to be issues. What we'll do when we can is check electrolytes, get a blood test with ongoing vomiting, or where there are issues with, let's see if I can fix this here. I see my phone is running out of battery. It's having trouble charging. If anyone's run into this, my iPhone 7, which is now 3 or 4 years old, the connector no longer works very well. So when I plug things into it, like I'm trying to charge now, it doesn't seem to be working very well. Anyway, those are the kinds of things where we'll break a fast early. It's unusual. There are very few cases where this needs to happen, but every once in a while it will happen. Hi, Rasan. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Having a great day. You want to see what you're missing? I showed the folks on YouTube. This is where I'm staying currently. So I'll be here for a couple more days and then back home. It's beautiful here. I'm glad to be able to do some body surfing because it's one of my favorite things to do. Tanglewood is even more beautiful than this. All right, I've got some other super chats here, so I'm going to scroll back down, I should say, and see what else I've missed. Neil Brown has made a $2 contribution. Thank you, Neil. I appreciate that. I don't see a question associated with that, but thanks. See your comment, though, Neil. Natasha. Okay, I answered Natasha's question. All right, let's see. Okay, I see you guys have been busy waiting for me. A lot of questions here. Steph, just a few weeks. For anybody else interested, we have an amazing yoga retreat. I've got a lovely yoga teacher, Katie, whose husband Fran is my partner in the venture. And so they're working on that, and they're going to be offering, they're an amazing couple, young couple, early 30s. They're going to be putting on a yoga retreat from the 12th to the 19th of December. So if the powers that be allow you to travel, come join us. We still have some space available. Okay, Natasha has made a £2 contribution and asked, can you fast if you've had a kidney transplant? You can. Um, you don't have to worry about your more powerful body rejecting the kidney. The one thing is if you take drugs, yeah, I guess this is the issue. You know, if you take drugs to eliminate the possibility of rejecting the organ, that could be an issue. And so far, we haven't been in the fasting medications, only hormones, um, as I mentioned earlier. So that could be an issue. Okay, let's see. Psilocybin mushrooms and ayahuasca for healing. Okay, it's a good question. There are people, I suppose, let's be completely clear, and those of you who've been following me for a while already know this, and Billy Bob, and I'm not suggesting you don't know this, but for everyone's clarification here, healing is a biological process. So only the body can heal the body. Nothing else can heal you. Okay, ayahuasca can't heal you. Mushrooms can't heal you. Nothing can. Only the body can heal up. We want to be completely clear about that. So what do these substances do? I mean, you know, people encourage the use, some people, of these substances for in. I have never used ayahuasca. I have used various other substances. I came of age in a time where substance use was pretty common, and I participate in those things. I've used psilocybin magic mushrooms many times. It was actually one of my favorite drugs at the time. But let's create specific outcomes, specific effects. And these substances are no different than that. I have worked with, I believe mushrooms did anything. I mean, I had a great time until I didn't. I gave up mushrooms. Before I gave up other substances, I continued and drinking alcohol. I gave up all substances. That was almost 35 years ago. I haven't used anything since. This is my drink of choice. Water. Again, I'm at a hotel, so I don't have access to our normal spring water here. Brought some with me, but that's gone. So I'm buying water from the local store. But that's gone. So I'm buying water from the local store. I don't think was so those substances negatively impacted it either, but I definitely don't think that they assisted in any way. They were fun. That was it. And people, as I started to say, who've used ayahuasca, and I haven't experienced any of them as being enlightened beings. Again, I mean, and I'm not suggesting one could it help? Well, I suppose how we interact with every single thing that occurs in life, every event thing that we encounter is an opportunity for greater enlightenment, for spiritual growth. So is it possible that someone grows spiritually as a result of using ayahuasca? Absolutely. Is ayahuasca toxic? Personally, I although I've considered it, I don't think I'll ever use ayahuasca. Have enjoyed them so, but again, whether there's really any long-term benefit to them, I'm not so sure about that. Okay, I hope that helps. Z-Bub made a $2 Canadian dollar contribution and asked, is regrowing foreskin using stretching devices safe? Honestly, Z-Bubs, it is not often that I get a question I haven't been asked before, but I've never been asked that question before. I wasn't aware that such devices even existed. I could stretch the skin around the head of the penis and regrow a foreskin as a result of that. I can't see. Yeah, Okay, so I see there's a couple of requests to be live here with me. We'll see about scheduling something another time. It won't likely be one of my normal live broadcasts. Expecting to see me answering questions, not talking to somebody. By the way, if you're enjoying this, feel free to give us this a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Um, I'm not aware of that. I'll look into it. It's not something I've ever heard of before. Uh, so much. Oliver has made a 5 Danish kroner contribution. I appreciate that. I don't see a question, Oliver. Let me scroll down a little bit and see if there's something here. Yeah, I don't see anything. But thank you so much for your contribution. I truly appreciate it. Sheldon, the $9.99 contribution, and said, "Good morning, Loren. I hope all's well with you. When are you ending your 20% discount promotion? Lastly, what's your email address? Sure yet exactly when that promotion will end. It will likely be for at least a week more, but it may not be any longer than that. It's been going on. I think it's helped us. Obviously, we want to stop doing that when we don't no longer feel the need to, as it's also costing us, from that perspective. But at tanglewoodwellnesscenter.com. Okay, this is true for anybody. If you have comments or questions for me, if you